Toxic mole follows Brad Pitt to court. Some charity homes he had built almost 20 years ago for victims of Hurricane Katrina had become the actor's new nightmare, just as he had made peace with Angelina Jolie. It sounds like a joke, but it's not. The toxic mold that appeared in the homes Brad Pitt's NGO built in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina will take the actor to court. Despite the fact that Angelina Jolie's ex-husband has done everything he could to turn himself in, this week we learn that this will not be possible, and that he will have to testify in a case in which the plaintiffs are demanding more than $20 million from him and his charitable organization for the adverse health effects these houses have caused them. From all over the world in 2006. When the controversy began, it seemed that everything would be completely diluted by the passage of time and by good lawyers. But as Mateu Montsolís said to his unforgettable sister Eulalia in Nizaga of Power, the past always comes back, Eulalia. In the humble Lower 9th Ward district of New Orleans, the actor built a development of 150 houses to provide shelter for people who had lost their homes in 2005 due to Hurricane Katrina, the costliest natural disaster in U.S. history and the 5th deadliest in the United States on record. At the time, the actor's NGO initiative was widely applauded by the media and authorities. In fact, during that crisis, there are images of him with other political figures, walking around the area and reaching agreements to build this housing development, so poorly built, through the actor's foundation, which was called none other than Make It Right. How cruel is the naming sometimes? Class action lawsuit. The families who have lost all of the hurricane are going to install the 6 new houses, and all seem to be in order that, in 2018, a family will file the first lawsuit against Pitt, which they claim is worth the repairs that the house needs because the Flority disappeared toxic and the high levels of CO2, that there were things that supposedly have caused health problems. The protagonist of the curious case of Benjamin Button that your problem with those affected by the Katrina, far from aging and dying, the same thing would happen to him as to him in the film, and he would only become younger and more alive in the media agenda. For now, that initial lawsuit has turned into a class action lawsuit in which those affected accuse Pitt and his charity of fraud, breach of contract, and unfair business practices for the poor construction of homes that were originally marketed as environmentally sustainable. The dispute has only escalated to federal court, and along the way, Pitt has suffered a few defeats. The most significant was when a court ordered Make It Right to turn over 100,000 confidential documents, including financial records and internal emails. Essential for Hollywood. The other major defeat for the actor was his inability to escape the trial, which he attempted in every way possible. His lawyers argue that his busy film schedule prevented him from participating in the trial, and that his absence from work could cause financial and logistical problems for the Hollywood studios where he works. As expected, the attempt was unsuccessful. A judge rejected his request, and he will now have to go through the courtroom and endure the pain of television news.